Traders, welcome back to another Relentless recap. Guys, what's up? What's up? Hope you had a good day. Hope you are doing well. Hope you were disciplined. Hope you're feeling good about yourself, feeling good about the day. And as you guys are tuning into this recap, guys, hit that thumbs up. And of course, if you're a new viewer, consider subscribing to the channel. So today we're going to talk about how we were able to make $700. We're going to talk about two stocks in particular, ticker symbol VVPR, as well as ticker symbol BROG. We'll talk about some of the challenges that we faced today. We're going to talk about how we were looking to manage risk with some of these trades. We're going to look at some of the patterns and edges that we, look for on a daily basis to capitalize. And we're going to also talk about one of my biggest losers, $1,000 loss. We're going to talk about the mistake that I made on that trade and how I could have done better. So hit that thumbs up. And of course, let's just mention our disclaimer before we continue. As you guys know, and if you don't, I'll enlighten you right now. Day trading is risky business. Risky business. So of course, if you're new to the markets, even if you've been around for some time, guys, use small share size, use a small amount of cash, aka risk money. That way, if you do lose it, it does not affect your lifestyle or your livelihood. Because we all have to pay tuition to the market. We have to learn to trade some way, somehow, right? So, of course, there's also the simulators out there that you guys can utilize. The paper trading sim, I highly recommend that as well. This way your tuition is on the lower end and you're not spending or losing a lot of money to learn how to trade. All right. Second, remember the live streams and recaps are never a reason to try and copy trade what I'm doing. It takes months, more commonly years, to learn the strategies. All right. Lastly, I do not invest for my subscribers, so be careful of fake accounts and impersonators. I will never message you first. I will never talk about copy trading or mirror trading. I will never send you a screenshot of my gains for an options trade or any of that weird, crazy stuff. All right, guys, stay safe out there. And let's just jump into it. All right. So as usual, I found all these stocks that I was trading today via my watch list, right? My watch list is compiled using Momo Pro. This is scanning software that I use every day to help me determine the best set of stocks to trade. I'm typically filtering for the highest percentage gainers going down with a fair amount of volume, right? Let's say anything above 5 million shares of volume and a float of at least 25 million shares or less. Sometimes you can see my scanner here is showing floats higher because there are outliers at times where we'll get a higher float stocks, right? AKA shares available for the public to trade on the higher side and still see a big move. Of course, this has to do with supply and demand, all right? The more limited the supply, ultimately, the more volatile we can be, if we're pushing good volume. And volatility can lead to some good trades, right? Good action. So, VVPR 2, Relentless Trader 0. 2 days in a row, man. Yesterday up 1,600 to only up $50. Today I wanted all the smoke. Today I was ready. I came out there on the block, like Mike Tyson, like coming out there ready to swing two right hooks, uppercut. Got punched in the mouth. What can I say? Got obliterated here early. I got up to 900. I think like 980 very quickly in the first candle, trading the price action. And then ultimately, I'm going to give back everything on a pretty poor trade. So we started off, we had a low of 892. We pushed up to 970. Pretty big move. And within this 1 minute candle, we had a lot of consolidation and range between, let's say, 9 and 930. A lot of chop right there. A little bit of resistance, 930. And, I recognized that. I started positioning myself low, selling a little higher. We finally break over 30. And over 30 is where things get spicy. We start to hold above the level I'm in. I'm selling up at 50, 60. Now it dips back down. In fact, no, it goes to 70, dips back down to about 30. I believe it held up one more time, gets to 50, pushes through the level slowly, comes back down again, 38. This is where we had a big spread, 38 by 50. And I thought we were going to retest 70. And so I bought aggressively 5,000 shares. And man, did I get smoked. I got smoked for a this was such a poor trade when I look back at it right here. You know, at 9:31, I got smoked heading into that new candle. Very avoidable loss, man. Very avoidable. I did take 5,000 shares earlier. I think I got a pretty poor fill on this one, if I'm not mistaken. The moment I start to connect on a stock, and I feel like I'm in a good rhythm, and you know, what I'm seeing is making sense. It's linear. I'm gonna get ready to go crazy for size. Just a little disappointing that I happened to overlook a small detail, bought a little too high, a little too aggressively, and then this thing rejected. You know, at this time we already priced in the high. This is where we had the small dip, back up to 50, and then I sold right here, 26 area on the way down. From there we had a low of $9. It did consolidate right here, but after taking the loss, I kind of was a little shook in the sense of like I'm losing my rhythm. I thought I understood what this thing was doing, so I eased off just a little bit to try to like regain a good connection. Um, and in the process, I think I missed a few trades, right? Because we had the loss here. Where we had the loss right here, and let's see. I tried at 33. I'm out at 19. Not great, you know. And I think we had gotten that dip and bounced back up. But I was getting chopped again in at 33, out at 18, not good. But then finally up until around 33, seeing a nice winning trade again, right? In at 28, out at 42 and 47. In at 54, out at 62, not the best trade there. I am pushing for my base size right now to be 2,500. So I'm using a little bit more size. And don't worry, a nice sweet day is coming. Maybe tomorrow, more than likely tomorrow. And we're grateful to end this day green. We're wearing our red shirt. Right now we're like 30 and like 5 or something, or I don't know, whatever it is. Like I lost track, but we're doing very well with these red t-shirts, man. These red t-shirts are the way to go, right? They're the way to go. So, anyhows, after $9, this thing kind of sold off. I'll pull up the archive here quickly. Now that we kind of just, went over the charting. Is this today? Okay. Okay, this is today. I have to double check the date. So just in the first minute, I'm just going to show you guys this quickly. It's so crazy how fast you can make money and how fast you can lose it. That's the stock market for us. So as I mentioned, I realized we had a range between about 9 and 9:30, right? So here we are at 30, 32. It's not going. There's some green on the tape. No good. It drops back down. There's a spread. 6 by 17. I get the fill at 17 on the ask. Okay, cool, whatever. I'm watching to see if this thing will curl back up, but I'm like, okay, I'll cut it flat, right? Not the best fill. We get to 30 again, and it's no good. Right there, I buy right as we had this tighter spread between 9 and 9:10. I'm in. I get the fill on the ask again. Okay, cool. And a lot of times you guys will hear me say, "Hey, I'm getting the fill on the ask every time." That's all right, right? As long as the spreads can be tight, if the stock has the range, it doesn't matter. So I'm in at 909. This is a much better entry versus $9 than being in at 17. So now I'm watching for the same thing, which is a retest of 30. Can we get through 30? There's 32. It pushes through very quickly this time. A lot of green on the tape. 6,000 share buyer at 30. Again, be careful with the DAS trader level 2. Sometimes the NASDAQ order will be printed twice. It's just 6,000. It's showing double. It's just 6. Keep that in mind. Yeah, so we got above 30. And the moment this thing started to hold above the level, I'm like, I'm in. I'm in big size here. This is the moment of truth. Is this stock strong or not? I'm not looking to risk more than 5 to 10 cents here. In fact, I want to cut it as quickly as I can if it's not going to hold up the key level. And so I'm in. There's 49 on the ask. And you can say I sold this a little soon, but I'm selling between 45 and 50. I probably could have sold half. I think I could have sold half right here. I probably could have sold half. But anyhow, that's not a bad trade, right? It does, you can see it does get to 55 and then 70. Sometimes it's just what it is. if I hold for 2 more seconds, I make like, maybe like 1,500 on this. Was that 30 cents? Not 30 cents. Yeah, 30 cents. Every 500 would be, um, every 10 cents would be 500. More, let's say like $1,000 potentially. But okay, this is where I make the mistake, man. This is where I made the mistake. This thing is gonna come down. I'm gonna be pretty aggressive here to get back in. And there's 37 by 51. The spreads are just a little too much right now, man. That's my first mistake here. But I'm gonna get a decent fill, 42, right? I'm gonna get a decent fill, but ultimately this is a little aggressive. It does bounce. It gets to 54, but we're not gonna really see profits in here because, the volatility is coming back down. And I'm pausing it every couple seconds. So it might seem like it's slow motion right now, but of course if you watch it back live, it's flying. Right here, right there, we come down to 20. I tried to get back in. There's another spread. I'm in a little higher than I would have wanted to be in, but I take the gains off around 55 area, 50, 55. And this is where I have the problem. So right there, I thought this thing was getting ready to go. I thought, I don't know why I got so aggressive so quickly. This loss is a mistake. So the low was 30, 20. 20 and 30 area was the low. And I'm going to essentially attempt a breakout trade thinking it's going to get right back over 50 here. And I didn't wait for any green on the tape. I didn't wait for anything. Right here, was it here? Yeah, right here. Oh, I guess there was some green on the tape actually, now that I'm looking back. But again, look at the spread. We just were at 20 by 30. High of day is now at 70. This is essentially an in-between trade. Although I'm looking for high of day, right? I'm looking for high of day here. But this is why you got to be careful when there's a spread, because there's 10-cent spread. I'm filled on the ask. I've been getting filled on the ask. I'm already down 10 cents, so aka I'm down 500, and we haven't even, nothing has happened. I'm down 500. Like, this is why you got to be careful about the spreads and how you're getting in. But I mean, for me right here, I kind of don't care about the 10 cents. It's more so, well, hold on, that's not the right way to say it. I do care about the 10 cents because it's risk first, right? But in terms of if we get the move to 70, 75, 80, 90, $10, then the 10 cent at that point is not going to be as impactful. But of course, if you're going to lose, then you really feel the brunt of it. And I'm going to lose right here. So I'm in, and it drops down to 20 again. And again, the range there was 20 by 30 for that support zone. Again, before we got above 30, that area was resistance. We had 9 by 30. We pushed up all the way to 70, but we were pulling back all the way to 20, right? And I'm in at 50 thinking that the breakout was going to, try again. It's a fair trade, but I think I could have been more patient. I always say high or low. High meaning 70, low meaning 30 area, right? And I'm in too soon. And actually, let's pay attention to what happens as I'm selling here. Right here is where Tim, Marcelo, Crispy, everybody else is buying. The pastor and the depths slacking off. Let me show you guys. Again, remember 20 held up earlier. Look at what's going to happen at 20 right here. Watch this. Right where I should be buying between this zone, I'm selling all my beautiful shares to all the other traders, man. Not good. And look at what this thing does. Observe this selling like nothing. Remember, I'm selling 5,000 shares, and it's only showing what, 1,800, like 2,700 shares max. If that was all the orders there, and I'm selling at this bid price, they should flush down to 19, and then get filled some of these orders of 18, at 5,600, right? But it just shows you how many people are looking at this area. It just bounces right back to 40. Now it does come down eventually, but again, just positioning. It's not an awful trade. I kind of had the right idea, thinking we would get back up quickly, but I still think I could have been more patient, holding above 50 for that high, or lower in the range. In between trade is gonna smack me around. Lesson learned, brother. Unfortunately, I don't have recording for this stock. At the end of the live stream, I saw it early. I saw it early in this consolidation. But I looked at it and I'm like, oh, lighter volume. And I didn't really look to see how many shares per candle. I kind of saw it like this, and I was like, this is what I saw, kind of like, this right here. And I'm like, I mean, even at the time, the volume bars weren't looking so big, but it's like, yeah, whatever. This isn't gonna do much. I underestimated it. I did the closing statement, and then, you know, not up until like the halt really, because I saw it over five. I saw it over five right here. But the issue that I had was my hands were not on the buy button. Like I was in the process of shutting it down. So there was a bid at like 512 of like 18,000. That's like the first thing I saw when I like noticed it. And I scrambled to get my hand on the buy button. By the time I did it, it's already 30, 35, 40. And like, dang, I kind of missed it. And then from 40, it quickly dips to 18, and then it rips up aggressively to 71. I just couldn't get into a rhythm. It's just a little disappointing. If I was early to this stock, man, if I was early to this stock, I think I could have done extremely well. It's hard to say for sure, but like from the first breakout down here from 426, we got up to 650. But this was moving like the stocks we would love to trade, like, February momentum. So it's always hard to say. But just in this range alone right here, with the size I would have been using. But, like then again, it was a bit of a slower day. Maybe I wouldn't have had as much size. It would have depended on how the first few trades would have went. If I would have connected with anything, I would have immediately went to like 6K size. But it's just part of the deal. Sometimes nice 50% move. This right here could be like a 10K day. Just this area alone, if I'm to be here on time. For what I saw, man. So out of the resumption, I caught one good trade, and then that was basically it. It was on the backside. Attempted a few dips, but not much. In the Discord, we did share a ton of our trades. Let's pull it up. We gotta do some scrolling. Shout out to our guy Crispy here with the sunglasses, looking as cool as ever. We gotta do some scrolling. Actually, what we can do? Okay, I did post mine late. Okay, yeah, here we go. I'm in at 580 on this resumption trade, man. Out at 639. Let me show you guys Marcelo's. Mighty. I'm in at 580. I'm out at 640, 650. And Marcelo is also in there with much more size than I took 1,500 shares. Marcelo's in like 5,000 shares if I have to do like the math here, 6,000 maybe. In at 574. Added, I'm not sure if it's one order or two. I mean, it could have been slippage. I don't know, but let's say added more 93, out at 38, 34, 31, and 20. And there were others too. I was in at 80, out at 39, 40, 50, 36, 37, 34. There were others, right? There were a ton of other people. I think Triad caught the move too. In at 592, out at 620 for Lethal. Muhammad in at 605 and 611, out at 41 and 38. Spartan Spartan is like clutch for these dip trades, man. In at 580, out at 632. So this is all, a few people here like kind of looking at that trade. But yeah, I would have wished I could have been involved sooner. Sometimes the timing, it's like on a slower day like this where I need to see the stock early. Of course, I'm going through all these closing statements. I'm shutting things down. And I want to encourage you guys, because at times it can feel like things are against you, whether it's like an invisible force. If you want to be religious and say, hey, the devil sometimes does crazy things to try to obstruct you. ladies and gentlemen, you got to stay firm. You got to stay firm. You got to stay firm always. There's always going to be more obstacles, more trials, more tribulations. You can at times feel like you're going against a headwind, and that you're quite, you're almost there, but you're not getting that breakout that you need. In my case, I needed to see the stock early on a day like today, but of course I had up all my, closing statements and not paying attention anymore, and then I missed the opportunity, right? It's like, come on, not on a day like this where we would have loved to trade, but even when that happens, you stay cool, calm, collected. You remind yourself of that bigger picture mindset. Again, going back to yesterday's recap, the marathon, right? The marathon, marathon, the marathon. Not just about today, not just about right now, but over the next 10,000 trading days of me being consistent. The money will follow, right? The money will follow discipline and consistency. It will have no choice. And you cannot get quote unquote unlucky forever. You can't go against that headwind forever. The tide will shift, the wind will blow in a different direction, and before you know it, it's at your back, and you are flying, rolling, and controlling, like a freight train out here in this map. Guys, it's been Relentless Trader. Another day of the red shirt. The red shirt coming through, man. Once we wear red, we always have a green day. You guys know the saying here. So hit that thumbs up. Consider subscribing to our beautiful channel. And I'll catch you guys next. Also, another quick thing. In terms of the Christmas tree pattern, right? The Christmas tree where we went up and sold off. This is something else that I forgot. Always cut the losses. Always cut the losses. Always cut the losses. Never hold on to a trade and average down. This is a good example. As strong as this stock was, look at how brutal this drop off was. This is brutal, man. From $6 area, guys, look at this. Cut those trades immediately. From $6 down to 180. This could wipe out an account in one day if you don't cut that loss quickly. Up there at the highs, even if you get caught right here. Hey, I'm looking for the move up. I'm in. It doesn't quite go. You could, if you're looking to hold a little longer for that push through the highs, maybe you're still in, but you got to cut that loss right here in this area. You got to cut that trade. Even if you're still in, got to cut that trade right in this area here. If not, there are days like today. Is it like 10% of the times or less? Yeah, but you don't want to ever be caught into this, man. If you're in high up there and you're still holding this, waiting for this to bounce back up, it might never. That's just reality. This could keep going down more to 50 cents. And you can see an account that's so beautiful evaporate. So with that being said, cut those losses, and I'll see you guys bright and early again tomorrow morning. Let's get to it. Stay safe, stay green.